And Cincinnati will not spend that final timeout. They'll let the Rams exult. Sean McVay gets the Gatorade bath after 5 seasons. Cooper Kupp, phenomenal. Stafford gets the job done. Whitworth at age 40. Aaron Donald, we go back to the fact that Michelle was saying before the game, he's thinking about retiring. This could be the end. We don't know. But the Rams were built to win the Super Bowl, and they have sealed the deal.
It's time to play ball. Welcome to the podcast with no limits. Whether it be sports, current events, or random thoughts, this is the place to step in and stay a while. Your host is a proud alumnus of Rio Hondo Prep, a former minor league baseball umpire, and a man with strong opinions. Welcome to the Get Home Safe podcast and your host, Matt Hersema.
Hey guys, and welcome to a very special episode of the Get Home Safe podcast. Why is it special, you ask? Well, you probably don't need to ask, but the Los Angeles Rams are world champions, winners of Super Bowl 56 here in Los Angeles, Inglewood to be exact, in the new stadium, the eighth wonder of the world, SoFi Stadium. They're home for a very, very long time. And recording today on a Wednesday, delayed it a little bit, just because needed to come down emotionally, but also today's the day of celebration. Today is the Rams parade here in Los Angeles. I will not be in attendance. I was going to record during the parade just to kind of react to it and things, but I decided now let's do it beforehand. I want to enjoy it. I don't work until the afternoon, so I'm able to watch the whole thing. But I'm going to try not to get crazy or anything today. I think a lot of you people who tune into the podcast, you're probably annoyed with my Rams fandom, and I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. This is a surreal moment, a surreal feeling, and something I've wanted a long time, long time. And my father has wanted it even longer, about twice as long. So I see a lot of old school Rams fans who are, in their 60s and 70s. Just kind of the look on their faces has been priceless. To keep in mind that it was 21 years where your team left and then came back. I mean, really try to imagine that, Laker fans. I know it sounds weird, but if the Lakers left for 20 years and then came back, what that feeling would be like. Dodger fans, same thing. Angel fans, if you're an Angel fan, you're a Ducks fan. If your team left the city that you grew up watching them in and went to another state, and let's say you forgot about them and now they return, that was good enough for me. And ever since I walked into Anaheim Stadium when I was about 7 years old in 92, and I saw that field for the first time, I saw those uniforms for the first time. This is something I wanted to see, and I'm so glad it's happened here at home back in LA. The St. Louis Super Bowl was cool. I was 15 at the time. It was awesome, but this one tops that hands down. I love Kurt Warner. I love those 99 Rams and everything about them. But there's this victory, this championship is just so surreal. And I want to talk to you guys a little bit about kind of the emotions. On Monday, it was all kind of a blur. And yes, I did probably over celebrate on Sunday, but I've waited roughly 30 years for this. So yeah, there was a little of overexcitement in that area. And I'm here. I'm still functioning. I'm fine. But I've been waiting for it for so long. And I feel for organizations. I feel for fans that wait for something for so long. For those Browns fans, those Bengals fans, the Jets. I mean, the Jaguars haven't been around that long, but these teams, the Lions, oh my goodness, lifelong fans who have dreamed of, multiple playoff wins and, hey, just getting to the Super Bowl. How about winning a Super Bowl? And the LA Rams have finally done it. 4-time world champions. I know. We don't count those. I don't know why you don't count previous world championships, but I do. Otherwise, let's take away everything. Let's get rid of everyone's former titles. What's the cutoff? Is it the 60s, the 70s? When are we cutting things off? If history is so important, Niner fans, Cowboy fans, I'm just throwing it out there. Then how far back are we disallowing titles? So first Super Bowl title, woohoo, in LA, and the fact to do it on their home field in the brand new stadium, that just made it amazing. So I feel for the fans that didn't get to see a title. I remember with the Lakers, I grew up I was born in the 80s, and I remember vaguely everyone celebrating Laker championships, but then I get to be a fan in the 90s and having an understanding of everything more. And then Lakers are terrible. The 90s were awful. They get the playoff games and get or series and get swept. And it was just like, what? Okay. And that seemed like a long time. That seemed long from, call it 91 to 2000 when Shaq and Kobe finally did it. That was a long time. I was 10 years. And when you're a kid, 10 years seems like forever. Well, this has been 30 years for me, roughly, from the first Rams game I attended to seeing them win in Los Angeles. And when that incomplete pass hit the ground, I lost a little bit. Started running around, hugging my dad, hugging my brother, just jumping for joy. And it was something that I have waited, I'll say, my whole life for. I'm not that old. I feel for people in their 60s, 70s, or beyond. I feel for those Bengal fans that were sitting there crying when they made it to the Super Bowl. I mean, this is what sports does to us. It's incredible. We cheer for something we have zero control over. We cheer for people we've never met, probably. We cheer for the colors. We cheer for the uniform. We cheer for the logo. And to see it all happen is just, you can't believe it. Maybe some of you guys, as kids, you were fans and you saw your teams won, the Niners, Cowboys, or you saw them win when you were a kid. But I got to tell you, to invest so much emotionally in your life into your adult years and be talked down to and laughed at and this and that, to see that happen, to that all come to fruition, is just an unbelievable feeling. And Monday, I was kind of left speechless, kind of walking around like almost like this now what attitude. And I started reflecting back on the game in the moment. And I thought to myself, can it possibly get any better? And I said, and the conclusion I came to was, yes, multiple championships would be awesome. I would love it if they did it again, or in a couple of years did it again, like go on that would be incredible. But as far as this moment in my sports fandom life, it can't possibly get better than this. And in a way, it's almost a downer. It's like depressing, like, okay, they finally did it. Now what? I cheered so loud for games in October and random games, playoff game, like trip. Now it's just wanting this moment. And now that it's finally here, it's like, okay, now what? It'll probably all change in September. Well, when I will get greedy, but there's been a lot of talks about retirements for the Rams. A ton of veterans, of course. And then the surprising ones are head coach Sean McVay, Aaron Donald, the best defensive player possibly of all time. And got me thinking, as a fan, what if as a fan I retired, went out on top? Hey, I'm done. I'm content. I don't know, put all the gear away or anything, but I don't need to care as much now that I finally got to see what I saw. Could fans do that? I wouldn't hold it against them. It just crossed my mind. I'm not going to do it. But to see the Rams win a Super Bowl, the LA Rams, to see them do it in Los Angeles, to see them losing late in the fourth, to rally, to take the lead. And then me being a defensive guy, the defense who played excellent all game, minus a handful of plays, to see them be the ones to basically win a Super Bowl. I'm trying to think, is there a better ending for me, Matt Hersema? Is there a better scenario? There really isn't in my mind. I've seen the Lakers win. I've seen the Dodgers win. That kind of, mini season they did. Someone had to win it, so it counts. Seen the Kings win. But the LA Rams, to see them do it, man, how about the City of Angels, by the way, huh? And all these titles the past 5-10 years, whatever it's been. And I don't think they're done. A lot more to do with baseball if they ever play again. But I don't know. I can't top this moment. I really can't. I can't think of a better way for as far as the Rams go. What if they went back to back? What if they won multiple titles in 5 or 10 years? There's no guarantee of that stuff. And sure, that'd be cool. I would cheer it on. But no moment will feel like this one. I don't know if any of you guys out there can relate. I talk about the 49ers a lot because I know a lot of their fans. Not because I make many Bay Area trips, just they happen to be down here. And, when the Niners won in, I think it was 95, most of my friends were, let's see, I'm 37. So most of my friends were around 10 years old. If you're around my age, maybe you're a little younger, a little older. I'm sure for a lot of you still felt like, oh, you got your whole life ahead of you for your cheering and a fanhood and everything. Oh, you'll see it again. I don't know that I'll see another Super Bowl for the Rams. And every time it comes on the screen and they say Super Bowl champions, I remember sitting as a kid watching the Rams, and they were awful, 3-13, 4-12. And asked my dad, hey, did the Rams ever won a Super Bowl? He said, no, they've been to one in 1980. And thinking to myself, wow, how are they ever going to win a Super Bowl? As a young kid, having this feeling. And then it was so bittersweet when the Rams left in 95 that 5 years after leaving, just 5 years, that's not a long time, they hoist the Lombardi Trophy in Missouri. And I remember thinking to myself, they could have done that here. Had they just hung on, they just fought through and not been, that owner, Georgia Frontier. In a weird cycle of life events, you feel for the people of St. Louis who are feeling the exact same thing. 6 years after the Rams leave, Super Bowl champs, and 4 years ago, they were in the Super Bowl. So I feel for St. Louis, but you know what? The Rams were here so much longer than St. Louis. They are the LA Rams. I know they were from Cleveland, but they are the Los Angeles Rams, and they are world champs. And again, I look back at the game. I can't think. I laughed. I cried. I was worried. I was scared. I was excited. The Rams jump out to an early lead. Then they start losing bodies. Beckham goes down, who I was completely wrong about. When they signed Beckham, I did not like it. I thought he'd be a cancer. I apologize. That guy showed up, balled out, and was not a distraction. He filled a void. Still the second best wide receiver on the team, but I think everybody knows that. Beckham just, he cleaned up his act quite a bit, and maybe a lot of us unfairly mistreated him like an Antonio Brown, where he's not quite that. And we'll see where he goes in the future. I wish him a speedy recovery with his knee situation. That was awful. And when that happened, I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me. No contact injury. Super Bowl, he goes down. The Rams are throwing to Bryce Hopkins. They're throwing to Jake Skoranek, who still can't catch, by the way. I don't know how a tight end can't catch a ball, but they're throwing to these guys. Kendall Blanton, Darrell Henderson, who hasn't played in weeks. Y'all know about him, but what they're beaten down, but they're playing. They're making plays. They shut down Cooper Kupp kind of that first half, except for the touchdown, I guess. And injuries, penalties, the drama. There was just drama. The Rams can't score. They can't score. The defense is hanging in there. They give up a big play here or there, but they just can't. And you're watching the clock. I'm like, there's no way this happens. The Bengals get the ball up 4. They can close the game out with about 7-8 minutes left. They're getting first downs. By the way, some incredible third down conversions for the Rams specifically. If you look back at that game, Stafford made some unbelievable plays on third down conversions. The Bengals came up short quite a bit on third down, but even Burrow a couple of times, I think a lot less than Stafford, he managed to make some throws, get out of the pressure. And it was unbelievable. The only difference with Stafford and Burrow was the 7 sacks, the 6 sacks in the second half alone for Burrow when the Rams defense just really turned it on and they got to him. Ramsey and some of the other guys secondary did not have great games, but Joe Burrow, what a stud he is. He will be back for sure. Just the drama, the Rams losing, them going for it on 4th and 1 from their own 30, going the jet sweep. I mean, there's just so many plays where you're holding your breath. Then after the play is over, you're like, I can't believe that just happened. Oh, wait, let's see what else happened, But again, this would not have been as sweet had it been a blowout. Had it been, I don't know, last second field goal. Sure, those are fun. But just, I couldn't have, in the great words of Dick Vermeil, couldn't ask for a better script. The Rams losing, and I know everyone out there is complaining about the officiating. The officiating, they wanted LA to win. Really? Those calls, where were the flags all game? Well, maybe there wasn't stuff going on all game. Oh, except for that whole face mask on the Ramsey thing for the 75-yard touchdown. But I didn't complain about that. I brushed that off and said, they scored. I know why they missed it. It's hard to see from where, anyway, doesn't matter. Pass interference on Kupp in the end zone or near the end zone. I like that call. The defensive holding, marginal restriction, but you can't have both hands wrapped around a guy as Kupp, who's pretty elusive. You can't give the illusion, the vision, whatever you want to call it, that is what's happening. The holding call was okay on the offensive hold on the touchdown beforehand, plus you had the personal so how much do you want to play this game? Bottom line is that didn't give the Rams anything. Rams still had to execute a touchdown, and then Burrow, they had a chance to go tie it or take the lead. So I don't want to, everyone, the refs. You need a new argument. You sound like some of these people in presidential elections or whatever who say the same thing over and over and over again. You know who I'm talking about. Anyway, speaking of the Rams parade is today, and I'm sure I'm going to get, I know, here's what's going to happen. It's 9:23 a.m. as I'm recording, just so you guys are aware. Parade starts at 10 or 11, whatever. I guarantee you, some of you Rams haters, I'm going to hear it. I know I'm going to hear it. I'm going to get messages or photos or whatever. Look at how weak this parade is as compared to, say, a Laker rally or whatever. Well, things are a little different, of course. And I don't care. I don't care. When is the parade for the team with the most Super Bowls? When is that one going on? Is that happening in March? Hey, we're going to do random parades for who's won multiple Super Bowls. That doesn't happen. So stop living in the past. Stop being bitter. And maybe you guys aren't. Maybe the silence is just bravo, Matt. Again, I didn't do anything. All I did is sit there and rip all my nails off on a couch and yell a lot. But there's lots of reasons this can't possibly get better. I almost keep waiting for them to say, hey, by the way, the Rams did not win. But to come back, it feels like the day after Christmas. You guys know how much I love Christmas. And for that to happen, I always feel that way after the Super Bowl. It's like, man, no football for 7 months, even though there's plenty of things to talk about. The NFL draft, the combine, the offseason. Like, it's going to all happen fast. I tried my hand at watching another sport last night, watched the U.S. hockey team choke away a 2-1 lead with less than a minute left, lost to Slovakia. I'm going, okay, this is why you need a break from sports sometimes. You can't just go from one bit. USA eliminated. Slovakia, brutal. 2-1 lead, gave up an empty netter, or not empty netter, but the Slovaks tied it. And then US lost on a shootout. How do you not score 1 goal in a shootout? How do you go 0 for 5? That's brutal. And then, not NBC, Hulu, someone. I had the captions on because we had it for another show. And what kind of sick person puts the subtitles in front of the scoreboard, which has the clock on it? I know what the score is. I need to know the clock. Who's operating these things? Is it a TV function? Manufacturers, Don't put your subtitles anywhere where there might be a scoreboard. How about that? With a clock. Just a thought. I know I shouldn't be complaining. Today's a special day, but I saw that. I'm going, who authorized this? And I went from my super high thing to, all right, let's try another sport. And I wasn't ready. I needed more time to decompress. And so there you go. But the LA Rams win a Super Bowl in Los Angeles. No, it is not the movie Heaven Could Wait. That was in the Coliseum. That was pretty awesome. I got to tell you that, look, we've talked about Aaron Donald before. Aaron Donald is a freak. And if he does retire, God bless him. He's 30 years old. I saw a little bit of Lawrence Taylor as a kid. Reggie White loved, but Aaron Donald is just unbelievable. I don't know his leverage. The people talk about that last play he made. I want to talk about the 3rd and 1 play. When they got that to 3rd and 1, I go, if they win this down, get it to 4th down, the pressure's on. And Donald's blocked and he makes a one-arm tackle, keeping the guy from getting past the line of scrimmage, basically, to set up the 4th and 1. That to me was almost a more unbelievable play than the one he did on 4th down. And it was really great. Seeing the adjustments of the Rams, because Donald, they love to double team him a lot. They did a lot of 5-man fronts. They brought a line guys over the center just to kind of give the illusion maybe that the center would have to pick that up, so he couldn't shift to Donald as quick. There was all kinds of things like that that were going on in the game that were just so fun to watch. The chess match between Zach Taylor and Sean McVay. Raheem Morris, props to you, man. What a game he called. Von Miller getting his 2nd ring and making some huge plays in the run game, and of course pursuing and chasing down Joe Burrow for a couple of sacks. Eric Weddle, who's on his couch 5 weeks ago, tearing his pec in the first quarter and well, this is my last game. I'm going to play through it. Basically making one-handed tackles with his left hand. Veteran players who absolutely earned it. Even Beckham before he went out. Andrew Whitworth, could not be more happy for him. Kind of sad he had to beat his former team. But what a career he has had. The man of the year. The true leader that he is. You want to hear about leadership. Look at some of his sound bites from the field, and it's just incredible. And I can't talk about the Rams. I talked about Matt Stafford. Oh, by the way, the Rams are led by a quarterback named Matt. I mean, you start really analyzing all this. I know I'm splitting hairs here, but all these things where I'm like, okay, nope, couldn't be better than that. Nope, couldn't be better than that. I can't talk about the perform without talking about Cooper Kupp. It's not the accolades to me. It's not the plays he makes. It is the man he is. And I've said for a long time, I wish there'd be more professional athletes who were just humble and not about themselves. And I love those underdog stories. I love the guys like Cooper Kupp who didn't have any offers out of college and just worked and worked and worked. He's given the MVP of the Super Bowl, and he just, I'm not deserving of this. I mean, if you hate the Rams, if you aren't even a football fan, look at Cooper Kupp. Look at how he carries himself. He gives the glory to God, and he really does mean it. I know he means it. I mean, that dude is a stud. He's a baller. He is a role model. I wish there were kids around the country who looked at guys like Cooper Kupp, and coaches in high schools and everything said, that's who you need to be right there. Be a professional, be humble, work your tail off. But at the end of the day, it's not about you. It's about people around you. And the most humble guy I've probably ever seen in sports. He's unbelievable. I am so glad the Rams have him, and that he's their best, say, offensive player. Matt Stafford, congrats on a great career. All those years in Detroit, people are already slamming him. Oh, he's not a Hall of Famer. What? He's a Super Bowl champion. Let's just go with that. And I know Stafford's not going to be a Ram forever. He'll probably only be here, 4 or 5 more years, maybe less than that. And if the Rams lose everybody, they lose all their people. You know what? It was a fun run. They went all in this year. They've gone all in the past 3 or 4 years to get to this moment. When they traded for Goff back in January of 2020, or 21, I didn't love it. I said, you guys are giving up on Jared Goff. He has his moments, but I still think he's the guy. Well, I was wrong there too. Matt Stafford, the veteran presence, the guy who's been through more, and I definitely believe ended up being more talented. This whole day, this whole couple of days has just been incredible. I thought a few months ago when Real Hondo Prep beat Charter Oak, that was one of the greatest moments and things I've witnessed in my life, and it still is. But watching my LA Rams win a Super Bowl in Los Angeles while I was with my dad, with my brother, with my girlfriend, I'll never forget that. I'll remember forever where I was February 13th of 2022. And football is the ultimate team sport, man. It really is. It's incredible that's why I can't watch the NBA. There's a lot of reasons, but you have the blocking, the tackling, the scheming, like there's nothing like football. And I really do pity those that never got the opportunity to play it. It teaches so many lessons, and man, as a fan, when you have no control over it, you're just trying to cheer it on. It's overwhelming at times. It's very stressful. But back in 2016, January, when the LA Rams were announced they were coming home, and that Stan Kroenke was going to build, a couple $1 billion stadium in Inglewood at the old Hollywood Park site. It's hard to believe that was 6 years ago. And I remember thinking, man, what's that going to look like? What's that? Oh man, this is awesome. No way. They play in the Coliseum. They get some full crowds early on, and then the crowds go away because the Rams can't win many games. In 2016, Jeff Fisher gets fired in the middle of the season. And it's like, oh no, same old Rams back in LA. This isn't good. But I was like, you know what? My team is back. I'm tired of rooting for the St. Louis Rams. I want to root for the LA Rams again. And then McVay rolls around. I got to tell you, I said this to you guys before. I wanted Kyle Shanahan. Before, when he was up for the job with the Niners and the Rams, and I wanted Shanahan. And when they hired McVay, I go, who's this guy? I think a lot of people did. But the first game I saw, I happened to be in, where was I? Happened to be in Wichita, Kansas, umpiring. And I remember seeing that first game against the Colts in the Coliseum. And from the first few plays, it was like, okay, this just looks different. There's a vibe here. There's like a hope. And the Rams got to the playoffs that year, lost in the wild card. It was like, okay, that's a step. And seeing the Rams in the Coliseum was so, I don't know, iconic. And you're like, okay, I never got to see him play in the Coliseum, but I know this is where they played so many years ago. And that second year, they get to that Super Bowl, and they fall flat against the greatest coach, greatest quarterback of all time in a low-scoring affair. Following year, they don't go to the playoffs. Next year, they get to the playoffs. And then here they are. It's just crazy, man. It's crazy. I'm through the roof, as I'm sure many of you can tell. From my social media posts, I got a little carried away. So I do apologize to absolutely nobody. Kidding. Kind of. Anyway. Been waiting for the moment a long time. It's finally here. I'm so glad my dad at 67 years old got to see it. He's talked on the podcast about being a Rams fan. He was in elementary school, and his uncles took him to games and everything. His family, they never got to see an LA Rams Super Bowl. Maybe some of them before then in the 51 or whatever. But I don't know. I wanted to jump on the pod Monday and do this. I wasn't ready. I wanted to jump on it Tuesday. I still wasn't ready. And here as I was thinking about it Tuesday morning, should I jump on? And I said, oh wait, the parade is Wednesday. Let's release the episode on parade day. And I can't believe this, but it's funny how things work out sometimes with your work schedule and everything, where I'm able to watch the whole thing. and not have to rush to work. I'll have plenty of time. And I've wondered for a long time, like, man, why did I sign up for this work schedule? Well, I needed a job back in 2020, like many people did. But I remember thinking, I want to eventually get out of this work schedule. And how crazy is it? How ironic is it that, like, it's funny how God works sometimes. My work schedule is generally like 2:30 to, till whenever. And I am switching my schedule in a couple of weeks to mornings, like 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. or something like that. And I was applied and selected and everything, weeks ago. And I wasn't, but I'm not starting until basically March. And just how funny is it? How ironic is it that basically I had a week and a half to spare where I couldn't have watched this thing. And I know it's just going to be guys waving and cheering and fans. But when I remember watching Laker parades and be like, man, that'd be so cool if see the Rams do that someday. And I'm not saying this is a Rams town. I know it's the Lakers and probably even longer, the Dodgers, the history of the Dodgers here and the older fans and this and that. But I said it when the Rams came back and people were making fun of me. Oh, they're the Rams. I said, give it time. Give it time. The LA Rams will be relevant in this city, in this region. There'll be a free agent destination. There'll be all these things. And everyone just kind of laughed and said, no, they're just, they left. They're like the Clippers, whatever. I said, give it time. Just give it time. And here we are. 2022, the LA Rams are world champions of the Super Bowl. And people, world champs, well, who do they beat in other countries? Everyone was invited. Everyone could have participated in this NFL playoffs. I don't know about other tackle football. I mean, should we have had the CFL come down, the Canadian Football League? Should we have had the Winnipeg Rough Riders or whoever, the Ottawa? They got enough problems up there with their tyranny led government. It's not even a government, excuse me, get dictatorship up there. I don't think they had time in the Canadian League to come down and participate in the NFL playoffs, and they probably would have been slaughtered. So yes, world champions. I'm not Greg Popovich. Well, there's no world champions. This is the ultimate league. If there's a better football league in another country that I don't know about, then fine. The world champions. Stop. Everyone stop. I'm stopped with these changing of terms and, oh, that's offensive. And stop it. We're hitting a wall here soon. Everyone needs to stop. I mean, I have so many other things I want to say, but I am going to take it easy right now with LA Rams World Championship. Cooper Kupp, my kind of guy. The defense answered the bell when it rang. Aaron Donald's the most fun I've had watching a football player. And I love that with all the stars and everything that he is, it's just gritty, battle of the trenches dude, which is what football is all about. And I spoke weeks ago about defenses still matter. And wouldn't you know it, Super Bowl 56. Weird. 23-20. Not a great offensive explosion that we're used to seeing, right? There was still a lot of short yardage plays, things of that nature, a lot of sacks. You can polish it any way you want. And there were some amazing throws by the Rams, but defense, man, defense still matters. I'm sorry. May not matter as much, but it still matters. So congrats to all the old school Rams fans out there. And for the kids out there, for you youngins, you guys in junior high who are just starting to, enjoy football, this is America. You're entitled to root for whoever you want. But I'm just saying, being an LA Rams fan, watching your team in your region that you're from or your city, it's pretty cool. And I knew that the Rams would have to win over the up and coming kids, the next generation of fans. I knew that there's other attractions out there, the Dallas Cowboys, the Patriots, all these the Chiefs. Oh my goodness. I start to see, isn't it weird how you start to see like Like I never saw Chiefs fans my entire life. And then all of a sudden the past couple of years, Chiefs stuff everywhere. I'm like, this front running thing is an epidemic. But the Chiefs took them 50 years to win a Super Bowl. So God bless them and their lifelong fans. If you're a lifelong fan of miserable teams, God bless you. Anyone can do it. If the Rams can do it, you can do it. I don't want to go too long today because I got a parade to go watch. I never thought I'd say these words. I do want to say right now, though, February 16th of 2022, I am not retiring from my Rams fanhood. I am not retiring from my podcasting. I may, however, take a much deserved break. And I've said that before, and I'll say it again. I've taken a week off here or there. I need some time off. My job is adjusting in another a week or so, a week from Monday. So I'll have to adjust to kind of my new times, my new schedules. And I love doing this. I really do. The NFL season kind of helps. The football season in general gives me some content to throw out there. I don't want to get too caught up in the political side of things because I know that does anger some people. But at the same time, I'm speaking my mind here on the podcast. We still do have a First Amendment for now. I know that may go by the wayside here soon, but I'm going to speak my mind upcoming. It's a big year, especially as we approach November. But I may take some time off from the podcast. I really do mean that. It'll give me an opportunity also to maybe stockpile some Friday episodes and going forward. I do have to start preparing soon for the Real Hondo Prep Football podcast, which I will post more about in the summer as we get closer to it, you know, where to follow and everything. I got some great ideas there. Yeah, I'm burnt out a little bit. I'm a little emotional still from the game. Can't believe it. And I'm excited for what's next. I've already talked to Valerie. Like that was so cool to see. I've waited for it for 30 years, roughly. Yeah, 30 years. I was 7 years old. Yeah, 30 years. When's the last time you waited for something? 30 years for the people who are my age. And I know, and I'll say this. I know I was hard on and ranting about a lot of bad people out there. And I probably said some things I shouldn't have, but I do know deep down the people that listen to this podcast, my good friends, even the Rams hater, I know that they are extremely happy for me and the Hersham men. They're happy for our family. And so thank you for, even if you're not a fan, thank you for at least understanding, putting up with me, putting up with the last few weeks. And of course, for all the support on this podcast. I am going to continue this thing. I'm not going anywhere. I need a breather here, as here we are, February. This time of year, I'm used to, it's still odd for me to not go out working college baseball, but that is behind me. And the NFL stuff is behind me. The Rams have done it. World champions. It's surreal. 2022. The LA Rams. I keep saying I can't wait for this parade. Go check this out. But you know, get the hockey playoffs upcoming. You got baseball. Who knows when that will ever start? And then before you know it, the summer will be here. So there's a lot of things to look forward to, but also a time when you just kind of decompress from the football season. I don't know how many of you guys love football the way I do. When the high school season ends, you're a little sad. College season ends, you're like, oh man, okay, I'm sadder. And then when the NFL season ends, you're like, oh, what are we gonna do? I gotta start going on dates and things now. Me and Val did go out on a nice restaurant last week for a nice little Friday night date. So that was wonderful. So there'll be more of those here in the future. Try to shed some football weight, sweat it out a little bit, get ready for it for next season. What else? Yeah, a lot of things to look forward to. And I don't know if it's going to be a week, 2 weeks, maybe a month. I don't know, but I'm spent emotionally. I got nothing left. No, I do have more left. I'm just, I need a breather. And We got some things around the house we want to do. My career's going a different route, in a good direction. I'm going to start making some more money, saving up for a lot of things. Hey, tell you what, March Madness. Okay, here's a promise. I will be back on the air for sure around March Madness. It is the 16th right now. So if nothing else, I'll be back for some March Madness stuff in middle of March. I think they're 18th and 19th, somewhere in there. If I do take some time off. Like I said, I sound like Sean McVay, right? I don't know what I'm going to do, although he's just maybe working for a contract. I hope if all those guys leave and the Rams start from scratch and they're never what they were this year, I'm content, man. I'm happy. I got to see something I wanted my whole life. And even if the Cowboys, it's laughable to say, even if the Cowboys win multiple Super Bowls and they take over the Pittsburgh and New England numbers, I don't care. I don't care. This one to me will be more special than the multiple titles that most people didn't even see, by the way. But again, I'm the guy talking about the world championships from 1951. So that's just how I combat. That's how I bring it. So the next few months, man, no more football, just football gossip, trade rumors, the draft, hockey playoffs will be really exciting. And of course, fighting. I love boxing. I love my MMA. So I'll be watching a lot of that on Saturday nights and such, just to get us through these next few months. The cold is cold here in California anyway. We got hail yesterday. Did anybody else experience that? That was crazy. We went from a 85-degree day on Super Bowl Sunday to lightning and hail and everything on Tuesday. So that was pretty crazy. Can't believe it still. Los Angeles Rams are world champions. Super Bowl. And to do it in the home stadium, like, again, there's so many elements to this thing that will never be better. It was the perfect ending. That's not an ending for me, but I will probably always care, but maybe not as much moving forward. I probably shouldn't, for my heart, for my well-being. But I look back at Sunday and, man, we had this good food too. Sandwiches, shrimp, deviled eggs. I mean, and then it was cigars and champagne all into the evening. Quite a memory for sure. After a very long weekend, again, great dinner with Val on Friday night. We attended a wedding on Saturday night. We were playing through pain on Sunday morning, playing hurt like Eric Weddle. Wasn't quite a torn pec, but we were playing with pain. And the Rams came through. I'm a little kid again right now, and it's crazy. And then I got to go into this adult world too. So it's kind of so many different emotions that I'm experiencing right now. It's like this joy, but also this relief, and also this, okay, that was fun, but life goes on. Much like when you lose a tough game or something. It's like the sun comes up, the world keeps spinning, and you got to go about your life. But the LA Rams, man, number one, not in the division, not in the conference, in the NFL, number one. Means a lot. I'm at a loss for words still, and it's just awesome that they did it. They finally did it. From that kid going up. And that's why for me, it was so special when I got to officiate that high school championship game at Anaheim Stadium back in 2016. So 15. It was 2015. Going to Rams games there as a kid, and then to go on the so-called football field there, that was special. Just so many elements when I look back at everything. And then especially this year in the Super Bowl, in the SoFi Stadium, it couldn't have been better. And it couldn't have been better because of the fact that the chips were down. It wasn't looking good. They were losing. And they were a couple of plays away from losing. And it would have broke my heart one more time. And all the texts and all the floods of fury of messages would have come out of the woodworks. And it was just an exhilarating feeling. And my dad and my brother and I, we're not done celebrating. There's probably a big dinner somewhere that we will be partaking in. But to the LA Rams fans out there who've been through it all, suffered, watched your team leave, watched them come back, lose 6 in a row to your rivals, lose playoff and Super Bowls. This is all worth it right now. This moment, this feeling. This is probably a boring podcast for you non-Rams fans, and well, that's okay. Again, I don't know when I'll be back. I don't know what else I have to say right now. There's so many other things, more important things in the world going on. Hopefully we're back to normal here soon. Not the new normal, the regular normal. So there's this weird feeling because there's pride in LA, there's pride in Southern California, but there's also this like hatred, this contempt for what the city of Angels has become politically, safety wise. I was driving through there yesterday, doing Uber and everything. And it's a disgrace to what this city has become. So I guess I'm glad the Rams were able to do it before kind of writing off LA altogether, because 20 years from now, I'm probably not going to be too proud of being from this part of the country, because I'm pretty close to that right now. And we'll see what the future holds. Again, big things ahead. I'm not sure when or what, but the NFL season is over. The Rams have done it. I don't have to hear it anymore. Well, probably will still hear it. And one of them wants to talk about, oh, how many titles, blah, blah, blah. But from here on out, I don't know. I'm not going to let things bother me too much. I hope the Rams do throw a mega contract at Sean McVay, keep him here. He can retire and go into the booth and make a lot of money, I'm sure. And he wants to start a family. I mean, guys like John Madden retired early and had an amazing career. I think McVay is built for the microphone, but at the same time, winning one of these things has got to light a little fuel under you, I would think. And Aaron Donald, he doesn't have anything more to prove. You see a lot of D linemen kind of retire early. I would hate to see him go, but everyone's got to go at some time. I think a lot of guys now in today's age would rather leave sooner rather than later to kind of preserve their bodies and health a little bit. Or maybe he's due one more huge contract, one more 4-year, $100+ million contract. Sean McVay, is he deserving of the highest paid coach in the NFL? I know he's a little, I hate saying this term, underpaid, because no one making multi-million dollars is underpaid in anything, especially when the rest of us are scrimping pennies together and trying to see about our taxes and if we'll get money back and this and that. I don't know, but those are the two things I'd like to see happen. Weddle is retired. Whitworth is probably retiring. I don't know if they re-sign Von Miller and OBJ, but if they do, hey, that would be awesome. Probably pretty discounted. Robert Woods should be back. Very happy for him, by the way, being a guy that has been here a long time, since the return to LA and everything, and it has been through a lot. So to see him win a championship, even though he was sidelined with a knee injury, I don't know. I don't know what happens with Beckham and free agency. Von Miller, does Von retire? There's so many elements, but for right now, let's just enjoy this win. It's hasn't been a world football championship from the LA Rams since 1951. I know the Raiders had that Super Bowl in LA in the 80s, but the LA Rams are world champions, and we're not done celebrating. Going to enjoy this one, and I hope most of those key pieces to the Rams are back. But if not, you rebuild and you try to do this again down the road. This was a long time coming. 21 years of their absence, plus these 6 years of them since they returned. They've been close but no cigar. But this past Sunday, it was closed with a cigar, if I can put a pun together there. I don't know if anyone's ever said that before. So thank you guys for tuning into this episode of the Rams podcast Super Bowl celebration. If you don't mind me, if you'll excuse me, I got a parade to go watch. So you guys enjoy the parade, make fun of it. I don't care. I don't care. The Lombardi Trophy, those 7 ounces or whatever it is of silver, is home to the LA Rams. It's back in Los Angeles where it first was born, in the Coliseum in Super Bowl I. And so it's back. It's back in LA. And congrats to the LA Rams for making me and so many other people so happy. The Hersema men are ecstatic and looking forward to celebrating some more. And now I have to figure out what else to cheer for. What else to once your team wins after wanting it for so long, so bad. What's next? Probably some people are like, well, Matt, you should probably get your life together and become an adult and all those things. I'm like, hey, we'll see. A little bit at a time. So guys, thanks for tuning into this episode of the Get Home Safe podcast. I don't know when I'll be back. I really don't. I may take at least 1 week off. Probably not an episode out this Friday, but we'll see. Stay tuned. Keep an eye out through social media. As you guys are well aware, Get Home Safe podcast, Facebook page, and Twitter, and Instagram, and then Get Home Safe pod on Twitter. Look for announcements there. Keep an eye out. And of course, you guys who are subscribed to the podcast, I'll probably get notifications anyway. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of the Get Home Safe podcast. Thank you for all the support, for continuing to watch. This has been quite a ride from starting this up in 2020 to seeing the Rams win a Super Bowl here in 2022. World champs, the LA Rams. I never thought I'd say it, but now I get to go celebrate it, watching it on TV anyway. And I'm just so thrilled. So thank you to everyone, even the haters who have said, hey, man, happy for you. I really do appreciate it. And we'll see what happens next year. But for now, we're celebrating. Go Rams, go LA, at least for now. And yeah, we'll be back soon, guys. I'm not sure when, but it's been fun doing this, and I want to keep doing it. Just need a little recharge of the batteries, if you will. So I'll be back soon. I'll keep you posted on social media. Guys, thanks again. And as always, guys, no matter what you're doing, whether you're out on the town or around in third base, get home safe like the Lombardi Trophy. Woohoo! LA Rams, world champs, Super Bowl 56. See you guys.